Alright, what is up you guys? It is Cameron. Welcome back to Fare Thee Well. This is episode 6, and we're just gonna get right back into it. We left off where we're talking with the bartender back in Cedar, Maine, 20 years later after the winter night with Emmeline. And we're gonna retell them the story. Emmeline and her little son were already in the bar setting up the stage. We talked with them. As Emmeline was leaving, she finally seemed like she remembered who we were. They left. We're talking with the bartender about that night 20 years ago now. Let's resume. We walked out of this place together and explored the town after dark. We sat on that bench overlooking the snow, talking of ourselves. Such a simple yet meaningful thing, sitting close and talking. I brought up the legend of the Wanderer. I didn't think she'd take it seriously, but she did. She listened, and in the end, she identified with it. Of course, you know Emmeline's story, how she got here. She was every bit as much wanderlust as I did. I take a sip from my glass and turn around before looking into the cup. Or had. I guess everyone else like me eventually grows out of that phase. I suppose a part of me realized it then. I didn't want to break her heart, so I just left. Ultimately, I shouldn't be surprised that she didn't remember me at first. I'm sure she's had to deal with her share of people walking out of her life. It was only one night. It was a long night. The old man puts a confronting hand on my shoulder. You know, I didn't think Emmeline would ever settle down. But her husband, well, you'd like him. He runs a tri-county newspaper. Takes the family camping, often in the summer and autumn. You couldn't ask for a better life for her or her son in this town. I nod and hand the bartender back his glass. Thanks for the drink, and thanks for the cover earlier. Do you really need some help around here? That I do. Sorry, it took me a second to register. That I do. If you want to settle in for a few years, I'd love to have you around. But you know what happens if you stay, Wanderer. You sure you want to deal with that? I ran a hand through my hair and looked outside, wondering what it would be like to stay in this town for a few years. I think I'm just going to get some fresh air. If I return, you'll know my answer. If I don't, well, you'll know just the same. Actually, if you wouldn't mind, I think I need a break for today. If it's okay with you, that is. Yeah, I'll close up shop. I'll keep everything straight, don't worry. The bartender nods, wipes a few more surfaces, and heads out. He gives me one last fleeting smile before the door closes with an odd sense of finality. With that, I'm left alone. The emptiness of the bar fills the air, silence keeping me company as it has the past 100 years. The familiar smells of drafts, the atmosphere of the community, made of vagabonds and travelers, friends and families, of those with homes and those who have yet to find theirs, the familiar sense of loneliness. Have I found my home? Is this my final resting place? Find out on the next episode. Is this where I will eke out the rest of my existence, however long it may take me? I honestly don't know. The heat of the bar begins to constrict my breathing, the weight of it all crushing me, claustrophobically, the warm lights a blazing fire. Tugging at my collar, I grab my belongings and walk out the door. It closes ever so softly behind me, the entrance framing me, engulfing me. I turn and make my way down the street. Buildings both old and new, that's backwards but whatever, guide me, gradually giving way to more and more nature as I continue my journey. I find myself in front of a large, somewhat young tree. Its appearance does little to betray the age of the form, being perhaps only 100 years old or so. This is a good place. This is as good a place as any. And I sit against it, allowing the trunk to support my back. I ache like an old man would, despite having no reason to. My body is fine, my body is young, despite my mind not being so. Cool air fills me, embracing me as the winds dance upon my skin. The tree responds in kind swaying this way and that, lively, almost youthful and energetic. Life only just beginning for the poor soul. I sit motionless, knowing what must come. I need not distract myself. I have a very important decision to make. It is a simple decision, really. Something a normal person wouldn't even hesitate to answer. Do I stay, or do I go? The wind quiets down. all things listening instantly to my every word, my every thought. I guess, in reality, the more important question is whether or not she would care. Does she remember me? That moment earlier gave me the feeling, but how could she forget that magical night? Out of my many years of existence, that is the one memory I am certain to never lose. Maybe she just did what I never could. The air turns frigid, humid. Someone shakes me out of my lull, my trance, my thoughts, and my memories. Rain. It's raining. The rain continues to shake me, spreading through my clothes across my cold skin. I know what I have to do. It isn't about me. It's about everyone else, isn't it? I can't keep hurting people like this. It's for the better that I don't stay. They'd have to keep secrets, hide me away, or even worse still, they'd have to die seeing my eternal youth, seeing what they once were, and what they could never be. They'd all die, and I'd still be there, forever bearing them, the job of a father at war or a son in peace. I am not like them. I am not one of them. It is not my place to be here, to serve at a constant reminder of what they must have, and what I am fated to never feel. Shivering now, I try to stand up, to walk away from everything, and I can't. My muscles refuse to respond, screaming at me, aching through and through. My heart gives out, telling me what my brain never would, never should. Don't run from this. Stay here. Don't leave her again. No, I can't stay here, and yet I can't leave here either. The rain penetrates the canopy, pouring over me, tearing me from my few short moments of quiet clarity. I'm sorry that you have to go through this again. I force myself through this pain, standing on my youth with it, regaining my stature. I leave the now corrupted embrace of the tree, out into the chilled weather. Looking up from my sodden boots, my vision is blocked by one thing I had planned to never see again. It reads simply, Cedar, Maine. A simple representation of the place, the family that I had grown to love. The aching becomes unbearable, and I am forced to lean against the sign, my full weight causing the sign to waver. Temporarily, it catches itself, accepting me. I cannot see the world beyond the sign. My vision is entirely blocked. I've made my decision. Please, get out of my way. The sign remains, quiet as it always was. I beg, I plead. I can't watch them die. I cannot be here. Only pain will come from this. Once again, I will be alone. Once again, I will be held down by my regrets. It remains. The clouds begin to dissipate, the cold rain gone, the warm air flooding down back onto me, the crickets begin to chirp, frogs ever so loud, life filling the air. So, the decision has been made for me. I turn back from the sign, the town of Cedar, Maine, staring right back at me, expecting me to return as if it never had a second thought. The humid air clings to my skin as I make my way back to the bar. I pass the tree once again, waving its leaves in the wind, welcoming me back. I had to yawn, sorry about that. And past that, as the buildings become less sparse and the nature recedes, the bar enters my vision. We're back. I enter my home. Home, it's a bar. I mean, we're not gonna live here, are we? Are we? I hope not. That'd be weird. Anyways, I enter my home. The heat help. What? What did I? I enter my home. The heat helping warm my clothes and my skin. I look at the things around me in appreciation, wiping the bar, cleaning it as if it were my own. December 2002. Who's this? A lone vocalist in a violet dress takes the stage at the Heath in the home. She appears to be close to Michael's age, who is now 24. Oh my goodness, the girl gazes at the expectant faces all around her. A hush falls over the crowd as she leans into the microphone, and her face betrays not a single emotion but pure wonder. It's almost as if she's somewhere else, remembering better times, preparing to sing to herself in a world that stood still, hanging off her every word. The young woman starts to sing, and the meager audience is immediately captivated. She begins softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Come over the hills, my bonny Irish lass, come over the hills to your darling. You chose the road, love, and I'll make my vow. and I'll be your true love forever. Her voice is beautiful, wraps around the dark air of the old bar. I knew this song, I knew it well, though I've heard it sung before, I admit. Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows, fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows from the... But my love is fairer than any. She has one of the best voices I've heard in all my life. I've only been this absorbed in song once before. The voice of the girl in the blue dress... That's Violet. Didn't they say Violet before? The girl in the blue dress... The voice of the girl in the blue dress grows and grows and grows, only to fill the air with complete emotion, feeling something with energy. Like her voice is an endless flowing spring, and to listen to it is to drink and drink and drink again. It's nice to feel this way one more time, even if it's not as strongly. The girl in the blue dress continues to sing. While she finishes Red is the Rose and prepares for her next song, she takes a fateful step back from the microphone. Her skin beads with sweat. Her chest heaves up and down with the rhythmic beat of her exhausted heart. Her posture is tired but proud, her breath short but steady, her eyes somber but bright, her palms weak. She steps back up to the mic and keeps on singing. Okay, we have to leave off here. Wait, how long have I been recording? Hold on. Let's keep going a little bit to see what's happening. Across the bar stand the current employees of the Heath and the Home, Candace and Michael, the latter having taken the job his mother once held to help pay for education. Okay, so Candace and Michael, which is Emmeline's kid, work here. Got it. Candace and I having a lovely conversation, but Michael's unwavering attention is set on the young performer. Hey, Michael. Candace tries to grab her employee's attention, but has little success. Mike, hello in there. Candace has a defeated sigh and waves a hand in front of Michael's face, jolting him back to reality. Oh, sorry, Candace. What did you need? Candace laughs at the young man. She's clearly embarrassed, so it's no surprise that his face has become several shades redder than one of the wines behind the bar. Table 4 is waving you down for refills. Get out there, bud. Oh, right, I'm on it. Michael prepares several mugs of draft beer, loads them onto a tray, and heads out to the floor. All the while, he pays only minimal attention to his task, still smitten by the young singer. He reminds me of a story my father would tell me. I know the story you mean, all too well. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. No, it's alright. Michael returns from his waiting duties. Candace gives him a good long stare, and he blushes again. I know she's pretty, but do try to pay attention to our patrons, okay? Yes, ma'am. No. Candace laughs the way her father used to sometimes laugh, with her entire body, hands on her stomach, and leaning back. Michael turns away from his boss and back to the singer. The young performer begins the last verse of her song. I remember one night in the drizzling rain, around my heart I felt an aching pain. Fare thee well, my honey, fare thee well. The song's end is met with quiet yet suitable applause. I feel reminiscent about my similar experience in the very same bar 35 years prior, and smile in spite of myself. I propose an idea to the young man across the bar. Why don't you buy a drink? Why don't you buy her a drink after she finishes her set? That's ridiculous. I can't do that. I don't even know her. And how could asking possibly hurt? Besides, you don't need to know her to become friends. I'm nothing more than a stranger to her, though. Ha! Now that's ridiculous. As my father would say, strangers are just friends you haven't met. But what if... Mike. You can make excuses till the sun comes up and you're blue in the face. Or you can ask the lady to have a drink with you. Michael stops his protesting and considers the words his companions have shared with him. For a moment, he looks as though he plans to ignore the advice he has received. However, a quick glance at Candace and I can confirm that no is not an option. I guess you guys aren't giving me a choice, huh? Absolutely not. Now then, let's talk strategy. Candace and I share a laugh while Michael looks on terrified at the prospect of whatever scheme Candace has in store. Okay, we're gonna leave off here. This is where we're gonna end it. Episode 6. episode 6 of Fairly Well is over. I'm sorry. But episode 7 sometime, if you guys want to see it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're still enjoying the show. I know I am. Did I just call it a show? I did. It is a show, so whatever. I meant series, but show still works. Hope to see you guys next time, and I also hope that you have a swell day.